in. Now to Donington Park in the English Midlands, a circuit that in the years just before World War II resounded to the thunder of the most awesome racing machinery ever, Grand Prix Auto Unions and Mercedes-Benz. 30 laps, 4.02 kilometres a lap, 120.6 the race. At a circuit he knows, Wayne Gardner with a 3/4 of a second margin to Eddie Lawson, both keen to recover points lost in France, and almost as big a gap as cover the next 9 bikes. They, including Rob McElnay, Freddie Spencer, de Radiguez on the Cagiva and Irons on the Suzuki, were spread by only 9/10 of a second. In a very even start, it's 3 times world champion Spencer from the second row who punches into the lead. Spencer, Lawson, Haslam, Gardner, Mackenzie, de Radiguez, Momola, Saron scything through the green sward. Spencer, Lawson, Haslam, Gardner and Mackenzie, Momola and Saron and McElnay. Saron very close to the unusually cautious Momola. The 3 times world champion Freddie Spencer darts away. Flashes of his old form. And Haslam down inside and through. On Eddie Lawson, the reigning champion. So now a British rider fired up at his own circuit, at his own Grand Prix, and Gardner looming onto Lawson. And de Radiguez in there, and Neil Mackenzie in 11. The man leading Spencer. Radiguez well placed, and Saron through on Randy Momola. Neil Mackenzie too, British rider again, fired up, going well. 6th place at the moment. As further back, Momola now comes back at Saron. Haslam hangs on to second in front of Lawson, and Gardner looks at both of them and starts to slot down to the inside. This man, who should be out of form, leads the race. And Momola gets past Saron. And an incredibly tight bunch as Gardner tries to squeeze through into 3rd place, and he does, somehow, where there's no space, but then Lawson holds him out. Still, the Radiguez and the Cagiva is 5th. Beautiful riding from the Belgian on the Italian bike. Slotted in behind him is Momola, and now Mackenzie's in front of Saron. All incredibly close, punching hard behind this man. Haslam second. Lawson, Gardner, still de Radiguez, Momola. Saron now back up in front of Mackenzie. On a glorious circuit at Castle Donington. B4 Honda, riding for Freddie Spencer's team, the man who's leading the race. And Gardner in 4th place, wondering like the rest of them, whether Spencer can maintain this advantage in fitness and flash of form. Based in Britain since 1981, this is virtually Gardner's home Grand Prix.
For Donington, really, that was a big pressure job, because it was getting towards the end of the season now, and the pressure of the media and the press and the people and my fans and so on was starting to build. It was difficult, as I said, from the pressure point, but also I decided to try something new and different. I tried a new tyre, one that hadn't been raced on, and it was a gamble to take, but I thought with the amount of points lead, I thought I could afford to take a chance in that part of the season.
With Spencer running wide, it's now Lawson leading from Haslam, Gardner, Saron, so Spencer to 5th. Momola sitting on him, and then Didi de Radiguez. Lawson now punching hard, the champion on bike 1. Pursued furiously by Haslam. Gardner watching both of them, and Momola slicing down inside Spencer. Radiguez is behind him still. Haslam wants the way round. De Radiguez goes past Spencer. All of them now chasing the man. Eddie Lawson, who's got 2 500-class championships under the belt, being actively pursued by Haslam, who's never won even a Grand Prix. And Gardner now goes up into second place as he squeezes down the inside of his former teammate for Honda Great Britain, and Saron's perilously close to both of them. And then error. And Freddie Spencer, furious and breathing deeply, showing how much effort it was. Gardner concentrating on the race leader, and Haslam with Saron ranging round the outside but hanging grimly on to third place. Momola watches all of them from fifth. Saron's got his Gauloise Yamaha working hard and twisting. Tail end of the bunch is Momola. What a close, hectic, furious, fast bunch it is. 5 of the best motorcycle riders in the world. 2 world champions in there. And one who's been runner-up more times than most of them have won championships. Randy Momola, as Saron goes through on Haslam. So he's third, Haslam's fourth, still Momola fifth. And Eddie Lawson, the reigning champion, commands the pack. A breakaway bunch. Lap 9, quarter distance. Saron with his bike twisting, and Randy Momola down the inside of Ron Haslam. So Haslam's gone from second to fifth. Momola up to third from 7th place not very long ago. American Lawson breaking away from the bunch. By Gardner, hanging on grimly. The circuit he knows much better than the American, and then Momola up to third place. He heads Saron now, back to fourth for the Frenchman. 5th place Haslam. Saron trying to re-attack Momola. Looking down the inside, but not close enough to do anything, not with the power on early enough. And Spencer, where he spent most of the time at race meetings in the last 2 seasons, in the pits. Lawson leads Gardner, Momola, Saron. Momola looking determined down the inside of Gardner. Not a nice way to treat an Aussie hero. So Americans first and second. And Gardner in hot pursuit. The way round there. Momola just squeezing on a little bit too much too soon. Roger Burnett, Didier de Radigues and Rob McElnay. Another British rider who really is having a lot of trouble dealing with the power of this Yamaha and getting it sliding to do really quick lap times. Never gives up trying. Big, strong, burly, broad-shouldered man, Rob McElnay. Roger Burnett showing us how it looks from a rider's point of view on bike number 12. Flashes past de Radigues, who re-attacks on bike 7, the Kajiva. Monaco resident like Gardner. 2nd place Gardner, 3rd place. Running true to numbers, 1, 2, 3 in those positions. Lawson, Gardner and Gustav Reiner running off, and Momola's 3rd on 3. Beautiful open sweeping corners, plenty of visibility. Set the bikes up beautifully. Cheek. No respect for another British rider, Roger Burnett, riding virtually for Honda Great Britain as Gardner, former rider for that team. still hanging grimly onto Lawson. Saron fourth, Mackenzie fifth, Haslam sixth. What can they do about the race leader, Lawson? Gardner sure hasn't given up on the problem. Close to Lawson as he's been at any time in the race. Tempted to press on, although his 29-point deficit in the point score for Lawson makes it not so critical for Gardner, but it certainly is for Steady Eddie to try and beat him in this race.
And I stuck with him for most of the race, but I just couldn't quite seem to get that drive onto the straight, and of course that's where the tyre let me down, this new experimental tyre. And basically I did it from a point of where I wanted to learn some information about the tyres and to also help Michelin develop for further in the season, because as you can see, the rate that Dunlop were catching up, we had to keep improving quickly.
Lawson now making the best of it, picking up a valuable another couple of seconds over Gardner. So one leads two, third's in third place, Randy Mamola, and off goes Rob McElnay again, but again stays upright on bike 5, while his teammate Eddie Lawson does the job and also has his Michelins working pretty hard. Glorious greenery around this Midlands circuit, so that after 29 laps it's Lawson from Gardner, Mamola, Saron, Mackenzie and de Radigues on the Cajiva in 6th place. Doing a superb job, fired up, sniff of victory for a man who really threw away any chance at the championship in the early part of the season. He's got his bike working hard here. And it'll be a very satisfying win if he can carry it off in the last part of this race. Lawson looping his bike through the chicane, got it working hard. Not on the experimental tyre that Wayne Gardner has on bike 2. Yamaha leading Honda. Chain flapping about, fairly loose. Carruthers doing a grand job in bringing the Yamaha up to more competitive form in this part of the season. So it's victory for Eddie Lawson over Wayne Gardner in 2nd place on the Honda number 2. A very nice recovery from Lawson. Mamola into 3rd place. A win for Lawson that Gardner could afford to sacrifice. A result giving Lawson his 3rd win in 9 races, where Gardner's had 4, Randy Mamola's had 2, but Lawson has had 3 non-scores. A bit of support there for Wayne Gardner from Neil Mackenzie in 5th place. That leaves Randy Mamola still within a race win of Gardner. 91 points to 105 for Gardner, and the champion needing to make up 26